Hello and welcome to today's webcast on Fuente Ovejuna. My name's David Prosser. I'm sitting in for Anthony Cimolino, our General Director. Love, Lust and Revenge is the title of today's webcast. If that doesn't attract viewers, I don't know what will. The love portion of it we are going to see in a couple of seconds on a pre-recorded portion that we did earlier. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here with Mr. Lust himself, the always dapper Scott Wentworth, who plays Commander, is it Guzman or Guzman?
It depends how Spanish you are.
Okay.
I think you better stick with Guzman.
You're right, I do not have a Spanish soul. He's playing Commander whatever. And we also have Robert Persichini, who plays Mengo, one of the villagers. I pronounced that one right?
Yes, absolutely.
Villager, okay, good. And he takes part in the revenge portion of this. So Scott, you really need no introduction to our audiences. This is what, your 17th season?
I believe it is 17 years.
And last year you were Gloucester, right, in Lear?
Gloucester and Lear, Antonio in Merchant.
That's right. And this year, and Scott, Robert, you've been with us 6 seasons, I think, and the last one was in...
Yes, I was here in 1996, 97, 98.
Right.
And then back in 2004 and 2006.
And you've kind of been all over the world.
Yes, I've been traveling lately. Yes, with a production of Half-Life, which was produced by Necessary Angel.
So as far afield as Scotland, I believe.
Yes, Scotland. It had a run in Scotland in 2005, and went to Australia last year at the Melbourne Festival.
Well, welcome back. All right, we're going to go to tape. It's a pre-recorded interview with Sara Topham and Severn Thompson, who are two of the women in Fuente Ovejuna. That lasts about 6 minutes and 11 seconds, I believe, and then we'll be right back to take your questions live with Scott and Robert. Roll the tape.
Hello, I have the great pleasure today to be interviewing two of the most wonderful people and finest young actresses here at the festival, Severn Thompson and Sara Topham. And they both play two of the young village people in Fuente Ovejuna. Respectively, Sara plays Laurencia and Severn plays Pascuala. Of the different parts you've played, Sara, here, Cordelia, Rosalind, how does Laurencia kind of fit in that world?
These Spanish women they're different than Shakespeare's women. They have a kind of a rootedness, a groundedness that is different. Their connection to the earth is different than with Shakespeare's women. But she certainly has Cordelia's integrity, and she has Rosalind's heart and her sense of adventure. And Pascuala too, she's a great sort of, she's just they're brave, these women.
They're farmers. They live on the land. They're not removed in so many of the other characters in classical theatre are.
They don't have the idea that their dinner arrives on the plate from sort of heaven or something. They know that you kill that rabbit and then you skin it and you put it in a pot and you cook it and then you serve it in a wooden bowl. That's their view of life. They understand how the nitty-gritty of life works.
Fuente Ovejuna is a real place where there was a real incident, and it had a feudal warlord who basically was not too nice to the people there, and he was the absolute law in a way in that part of the world.
Yeah.
And the town rises up. Why don't you take it from there?
Sort of the catalyst for the big event in the play is that Laurencia and Frondoso, who is her love interest in the play, they get married, and the commander is very upset about this, and he comes in and steals her away from the wedding, and she manages to get away and get back to the town and basically provoke not only the men but also the women of the town to go after and kill this man, or at least to die gloriously trying with honor. And so they do, and then it's a bit like Spartacus, because the king and queen send a judge to find out what should happen to these people who've committed this crime, and they all take credit for it. They all say the village did it.
In this case, you also have the translator, adapter of the work as your director.
Because it is a translation, it's not in the original language, it's nice to actually have a discussion, to be able to have a discussion with the playwright, who is our director, and say, this word it feels better for me. As you get to know your character, you say, maybe I would say it more this way, and you can work with them.
Or going back to the Spanish and saying, can we talk about what that actual word is in the Spanish? What does it taste like? Because like sometimes when we were working on Don Juan, which was a translation from the French, you realize the word for heaven in French is ciel, which has a kind of bite to it, and heaven was soft, and it was hard to make it taste the same. And so that's been a lot of the exploration here is to make it taste the same as the Spanish.
So what about love and lust in this play? I mean, you've got romantic love, you also have rape.
You're under no illusions that this is a cruel world where people get beaten and killed for stealing a loaf of bread or for, touching the gates of the commander or any of that stuff, for sure.
And it's a world that reputation is very important, especially for young women. And you really feel that as well, that you may have passions, you may love or even lust after, in a nicer way than your commander, but you can't show it. There's always this battle going on of honor and how do you control the passions that they have as people.
What you want and what you should.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then within that, you've got this commander whose lust is getting out of control, and you see it grow until the town just has to stop.
And he talks. I think it's the commander says at one point, "I'm waiting for the moment when my rage will overcome my reason." And you see that happen a bit to the villagers in the play. They stop. You'll see it in our clothes, and by the third act, after you've killed a bunch of people, you're not so worried about wearing a fichu to cover up your neck. Everything starts to kind of, once the rules are broken, then what you want becomes more important than what you should.
What process are you going through on whatever levels to begin to understand what it must be like to be Spanish?
Well, any play, you start to inhabit that world more and more, and it's hard to say what day it actually you drop into the world more, but I can feel it happen with our research of Spain at that time and everything, and with the text.
And the music, the guitar music. One of the things we did as a company, was we watched these amazing, I cannot remember the name of the filmmaker, but they were made in the 70s, these flamenco films, and one of them is Blood Wedding, which is not Lope de Vega, but it has that feeling. And you watch the way they move and their carriage, and so that all kind of starts to come in from underneath, we hope. With Nicola Panton having done the dancing and trying to make these people who know how to dance in their lives rather than dancers, and then that kind of informs a lot of what you do.
Yeah, just in how you hold yourself, holding yourself like this, you look at the world differently when you're up here.
When you're up here, it feels different.
Yeah.
It sounds exciting.
It's pretty cool. So we're the sweep of it is really neat. We're looking forward to it. We're at a place now in the process where we haven't had a chance to really explore the whole sweep. We're doing lots of pieces of the puzzle, so I think we're all excited to see what the whole sweep informs us of and where we have to go next.
You know what? We are excited too, but looking forward to seeing that whole sweep. Sara, Severn, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks.